It's brain damage time. This is on my Twitter feed, which means I'm going to make all of you guys suffer. 7.8 million views. I'm going to chew my own arm off. I'm 25 years old and I've never had a girlfriend.
Hey guys, my name is Jonathan Yesquez, and this is going to be a different type of video than what I usually make.
Guys, 25 is not even old. Okay? It's not even old. You could easily be a totally normal person and still be single or not having had a partner at like 30 something, in my opinion. It's really fine, guys. It's really fine.
I don't really talk about like much of my personal life since I feel like people just really wouldn't care. And I'm currently 25 years old and I've never had a girlfriend. I've been alone for a very, very long time. In fact, 25 years is a quarter of a century, if you guys didn't know. And during that time, I've experienced a lot of loneliness, heartbreaks, ghostings, and more recently, like, let on, you know? And I feel like this is kind of like the only place I can, like, talk about this kind of stuff. And yeah, you know, I've been kind of thinking about this for a while.
What do you mean this is the only place you can talk about this? Therapists literally get paid for you to be mentally ill in front of them. That's their job. You go in there and you say, I'm mentally ill. What is wrong with my brain? And they're like, I got you. I got you, bro. Don't worry. Don't worry, man. Don't worry.
And yeah, you know, I'm kind of ready to tell everyone of my experience of loneliness or my experience of never really having a girlfriend. I feel like one of the reasons why I think I've never really succeeded in getting like a girlfriend or a relationship is because back in 8th grade, there used to be like this girl named Victoria.
You got to let that shit go, man. 8th grade? 8th grade? Victoria better have like killed your fucking dog or some shit. Because there is no reason for you to still be thinking about shit from 8th grade as a 25-year-old. No. Okay. As someone who has had probably one of the worst public school experiences, okay? You just pretend. You just pretend like it never happened and you move past it. All the bullying, it didn't happen, guys. All the awful shit that happened to you, it didn't happen. All right? We move forward. You move forward, not backwards.
I was in middle school at the time, and I thought she was really pretty, you know? I would try to talk to her. I had her in 2 classes, 1st and 7th period. And I guess through some small talk, I was able to talk to her, and eventually we somewhat became friends, or at least I thought I became friends there. In reality, she probably never really saw me as a friend. And eventually I would see her in the cafeteria, and I would talk to her. She would sometimes be with her friends, her annoying friends that she used to talk to. In fact, one of her friends actually married my cousin, which is kind of sad when you think about it.
Why is that sad? Were you single until 25? If not, you don't get the pain. Bro, that's so deep, man. That's so deep. FR. I literally didn't even enter a relationship until I was 20. Okay? It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine.
But every day, like, I would try to just talk to her, you know, in lunch. It was kind of awkward because it would just be me and her friends. I was literally the only guy in the group. Looking back at it now, I'm surprised like no one didn't say anything about it, or they didn't just prevented me from like sitting there, you know, or like kick me out. You know, I'm surprised they didn't really done that, you know. And so one day, I guess it was near the end of 2012, which is like over a decade ago, 11 years ago. This is before Christmas break. And yeah, this was some time ago. And one day I just told her my feelings. I confessed to her that I had a crush on her. And it turned out that she happened to have a boyfriend at the time. And it sucked, you know. I got rejected. And after that, she told her friends about it. And yeah, most likely she told everyone. And after that, I just never really bothered talking with another girl, you know. Not sure if she told everybody else outside of her friends. Most likely she did. I don't think nobody didn't really knew. Like, I don't know why I have like this thing in my mind where like I could be delusional sometimes.
Brother, that was 11 years ago, okay? You know what happened to me in 8th grade? All right? You wanna know what happened to me in 8th grade? Okay? I wrote a love letter, and my friends, aka my bullies, made sure everyone in the school saw it. That is oh, she told her friends. The whole school knew that I was a fucking loser. Okay? You move past it, man. You move past it, all right? Okay? Come on. You know what the worst thing is about middle school? No one has a brain that is developed even a little bit. And so sincere feelings are the cringiest thing you can have. And then you grow up and then you realize, actually, sincere feelings from other people are the most base things. Okay. Still kind of cringy, but it's cringy in the good way, you know? What is going on? My first rejection told me to my face I was out of her league. I laughed, shrugged it off, and moved on. It's not that hard. Middle schoolers are actual living demons. Did I tell you guys about my theater? It was like movie production slash theater teacher in middle school. It was his first year teaching in our school. And he made the unfortunate mistake of having a name called Hayworth. And do you want to know what all the kids called him for the first year that he was a teacher? Mr. Gayworth. And then he quit. Okay. You have to compartmentalize that shit and realize middle schoolers are fucking terrible people. Okay. They have not yet developed empathy. As a teacher, I feel bad, but also he didn't have that dog in him. He didn't know what he was signing up for, man. He did not know. I had a science teacher named Mrs. Butt Cabbage. When in reality, if you're a teacher, you just have to fire shots back, essentially. Without going too far. The second a kid mocks your anything about you, you have to bully back, because that's the only way you're going to get respect as a teacher. It is. It's true. It's true. You have to make that kid stand up and do some really embarrassing shit. It's prison style. Kid says something stupid. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. You had something you wanted to say? Come on up. Come on up. No, you have something to say. Make sure everybody hears it. And then you mock the kids. You humiliate them in front of all the students, and they'll never do it again, and no one else will either. There is nothing as terrifying, okay, as getting called up to the front of the class and humiliating yourself. Okay? Is that why you pull up chatter profiles? You know, I never thought about it that way, but fuck. Yeah. Actually. Yeah. I had a teacher named Mrs. Bowers, and she said, I know I'm fat, so don't annoy me or I'll squash you. Like, the thing is, as long as you don't go too far, you just have to go far enough that you garner respect from the students without going so far that you end up bullying them. And I had a lot of teachers like that. None of this will work. You have to take the red pill. It's the only way. It's the only way.
Like, I don't know why I make up this lie that like she told everyone about it, and then like people were just laughing at me or just making fun of me, you know. But in reality, she probably never even told like that many people, only her friends and maybe 2 or 3 more other people other than outside of that. But I don't know why, like, I just been so like lost in my mind that like I
Bestie, it's called social anxiety. Bestie, don't worry. I'm a master at it, okay? Okay? My friend doesn't respond for 2 minutes, and I think that she hates me. Okay? It's called girl bossing that social anxiety. All right? And then realizing that you're fucking insane and you're not allowed to listen to that part of your brain. I'll have the thought of, oh God, I did this one thing that was a little bit cringe. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was at a 0.5. And this person never will want to speak with me ever again. And then my therapy brain says, that's fucking stupid. I'm not going to allow you to think about this anymore. And then I stop thinking about it. Anyways, so what are we going to do today? All right, let's get some work done. Because if you think about it, you're losing. You've lost. You can't think about it, man. You can't. All right? You can't. To be fair, I was cringe once in person and literally die. My undead self is typing this. Oh, true. Oh, true. It's weird because I'm the same age and I wasn't very sought after when I was young, but I grew up, I'm not like this. Felt that, man. Felt that. Also, the coolest thing about being a fucking loser in public school is that it means you can't have peaked. It's way more scary to be someone that peaked in high school. Going from the most gremlin goblin person that can ever have existed to who I am now, man, what a glow up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Whew. Whew.
Believe that everyone knew about that, you know, and that got me like really anxious.
Exactly, Hayden. Exactly.
And stuff like that, you know. And that was the first time I ever got rejected by a girl. And the first time in a long time, for the longest time, like I ever shot my shot with a girl, you know. So that was that, you know.
Obligatory dentist speech. I must play it.
We were a team.
Relax, I'm still gonna help you make your raincoat with the straw in
It's
it.
not a raincoat. Yeah, no one's gonna buy. What is this? This woman doesn't even have a rib cage.
Oh.
It doesn't matter, Dee, because winners always win.
You're not a winner, Dennis. You're not a winner because you used to be popular in high school, but I think you peaked.
Peaked? Peaked, Dee? Let me tell you something. I haven't even begun to peak. And when I do peak, you'll know. Because I'm gonna peak so hard that everybody in Philadelphia is gonna feel it. I'm in my prime. And I bet you that I could sell these dresses to Fatty Magoo just based on these sketches alone. And your loser friend is gonna buy them because she's a fatty. And that's just the way of the world. All I have to do is turn on my winning charm. Fatty Magoo will be putty in my hands.
Because us winners always win.
He wasn't talking about you.
I think he was. It's too.
Oh my God. All right. Apologies. We return.
We talked a couple times here and there, but it just wasn't the same after that. After 8th grade, I never saw her again, you know? And I'm kind of glad she didn't went to high school. And, yeah, that was it for her. In high school, I never really talked to any girls, like, at all. I was just always by myself, alone. I just never really bothered trying to talk to any, you know?
You know what? Try being into anime in high school and then get back to me. Try having a teacher's assistant walk to your desk and say, "What are you drawing?" Show me. You have not experienced real pain. You have not experienced real pain until you've experienced that. Were you drawing yaoi or what? No, I was just drawing anime. I actually couldn't draw. I could only draw the girlies. It was actually, I actually only draw women because I'm a misandrist. No, I only learned how to draw women. And then I tried to draw anything else and I couldn't. And I was like, all right, well, I guess this is just what I'm going to draw now. Okay. So, no, I was not drawing yaoi, okay? I was reading it. Get it right, bitch.
really wish I had the confidence and the social skills. you know, but
But
I
that's
guess
why they're
like
called skills. They're not called innate social ability. It's called social skills because, like any skill, you can learn it. I promise. Okay, I really do. Some people get lucky in life, man. Some people get lucky in life, and it's easy for them. And the rest of us have to fucking suffer. The rest of us are thrown in the trenches and we have to crawl our way out. You do what you got to do, man. Do I have to start a grifter course on personality maxing to get these dudes to learn emotional intelligence, which they can actually improve, unlike their jaw? Yeah. Yeah. No, bro, forget about jaw maxing and looks maxing. Start on your personality maxing. Google, what is emotional intelligence?
because like she rejected me, you know. I feel like everyone else is gonna reject me, you know, because
Girly pop, that's just social anxiety. Okay? It's just social anxiety. That's it. You can't listen to that. You can't listen to that part of your brain. You can't. That part of your brain is actively trying to constantly sabotage you. And you have to realize that shit. And you have to beat that part of your brain with a stick. It's what you got to do. Every time you hear that part of your brain that wants to give you some social anxiety, you're like, no, back into the fucking corner. It's what you got to do. You know how mad I was when I found out that you can't remove social anxiety? All you can do is keep it at bay. I was pissed. I was pissed. It's in there forever. It's a fucking worm that's in there forever.
always have and always did have the thought that I've always looked kind of hideous, like the way that I look, you know.
Doesn't even look bad.
Um,
But
My-
girly pop, you do need to get rid of the middle part. It's not doing you any favors. I'm just trying to be helpful. You've got a nice head of hair, good hairline, not receding, but the middle part is not it. It's not. Okay. What's a middle part? When you part your hair in the middle. So this is a side part. Now, where did I put it? This would be a middle part. Oh, sorry, I'm the page. It's gonna look really stupid for me right now, but middle parts, you just have to have a certain face for a good middle part and a certain hairline for a middle part. I personally don't like the middle part on me. IMO. My face looks like it's missing something. But I'm a fan of the side part personally. It might just be the millennial in me though. Average Muir. So yeah.
like I'm not the best looking guy, but
Bro, you have no acne. Given your gender, I'm going to assume you don't have a skincare routine. Maybe that is a bit reductive, but I think it is also a safe assumption. The fact that you have no acne and you probably don't have a skincare routine, stop it right now, okay? Some of us get adult acne, right? Some of us have to put in effort and time into our skincare routine. Stop it. Stop.
Like, I'm a little, like, what's the word? I know there's a word for that, but I'll get back to that in a second. But I always thought like I was like, I always like
Eyeball,
talk down
fuck
to
you.
myself, saying like I'm this ugly person, you know, and that would always bring me down, you know. Like I would see other girls with other guys who are much better looking than me, you know, in high school and in college, you know. And so all throughout high school, I didn't talk to anybody. College rolled by, I didn't talk to not one single girl there. And yeah, you know.
I'll say it again. I'll say it as many times as I have to. If this guy could pull Sniper Wolf, it's a skill issue. It's a skill issue. I'm not even saying this guy is unattractive, but I'm saying that he's not conventionally attractive. That facial hair gotta go, though. That facial hair gotta go. That shit is not working. I don't know why you would ever think that that would look good, though. No, get rid of that thing. Honestly, get rid of that thing. Blech. It's giving imam.
But like the thing is, that was only during school. But like at church, there was this other girl that I had a crush on for like the longest time.
Maybe he's nice. He cheated on her.
Not sure if I should tell about it in this video or in the next video.
Look it up.
But maybe I'll talk about her in the next video. But yeah, you know, it's just always kind of been like that, you know, on and off. And I would go so far to even like use like dating apps, you know, like Tinder or all the other dumb apps that they have, you know, or other apps that you can like talk or text with people. Yeah, since I really didn't know anybody else to talk to in real life, that were girls, you know. And I wasn't like those other guys, you know, that had like game or Riz. I never really had that, you know. Yeah, it's just always kind of been like that since then. And I don't know if it's because like fear, it could be, but also like at the same time, there's also like this doubt that I have in me that's just never gonna happen. Like years are just gonna go by. Like I'm gonna be 30 soon, in 5 years or less than 5 years. I'm gonna be 26 next year in a couple months. And you know, I just feel like I'm so far behind compared to everybody else in my age, you know. Everyone else like in my school grade that graduated with me in high school already have like kids. They're already married or in a relationship. They already have a place in their own, you know. And I'm still alone, living with my parents. I mean, I never even had like a girl.
I'm gonna be real. Living with your parents in 2024 is really not that big of a deal, especially at 25. Living outside in this economy? What are you, crazy? What are you, insane?
Like sit right next to me in my car. Like just me, you know? I mean, recently I would go like downtown over there, here at 6th Street in Austin, just to talk to girls and only talk to girls. I did spoke with a few. I was successfully able to speak with a few. But others would just like walk away and stuff. And yeah, you know, I've just always had a hard time with that. And yeah, I don't know how to like conquer that, and I need help and advice, guys, in order to do that, you know. Um, like I'm not rushing it, you know. Like I just wish I met someone a lot sooner, or met someone now, you know, and then
I have
eventually
so
get
many
to know
opinions.
them, and eventually.
I want him to finish the video, but I also want to speak on this. I have so many opinions. So many, guys. I will say this is as I will say this as an incel adjacent. Logically, it makes sense to live with your parents, but at the same time, for me, it felt like a failure. After moving out, I improved mentally quite a bit, and I would gladly take that over the money all day. I mean, yeah. I mean, I agree with you. Living with my parents is like was a nightmare. Oh my God. You know the thing that they say? Your relationship with your parents will improve when you aren't living at home anymore. Low key, it's true. Low key. It's true. You also feel a lot more in control of your life. And I think that that bleeds into other parts of your life as well. When you're in control of your own bills, your own food, your rent, your own doctor appointments, all this other shit, it gives you a lot of confidence, I guess I would say, because it forces you to do these things. And when you're forced to do these things, you feel a lot more confident in your ability to do everything. I, maybe I'm just discussing myself. Maybe I'm only describing myself. The, some chatters. But then I also sometimes I end up not having any food in my fridge and I'm sad. Okay, but me too. Me too. I have this is going to sound pathetic, but I have a running joke with myself, I guess, where I open the fridge and there's no food in there. I'm like, bro, the bitch who lives here forgot to put food in my fridge. Unbelievable. Again? How many times is this going to happen? Ten minutes later, you open the fridge again, expecting anything to change. And you're like, there's still nothing in there. I don't know why I thought that there was anything in there wasn't anything in there 10 minutes ago. There's no reason that there would be something in there now. Bro, I feel attacked.
She started dating them and marry them, you know. And yeah, you know, if you guys are interested in like the other girls that I mentioned, I guess, let me know in the comments. You know, I would love to make videos about that. And yeah, does it bring me down sometimes? Yeah. It does make me feel a little less than others, you know. The thing is, I kind of have like really low self-esteem. That's also another issue I have, and
Felt that.
another video I really do want to make on low self-esteem, like my struggles with that, you know. And
Oh God, it's bleeding into my language. You know. I know that people don't believe me. That there's going to be some portion of the internet that doesn't believe me when I talk about social anxiety, or I talk about brain illness, or I talk about self-esteem or whatever, any of that other stuff. And I understand why there is this perspective that, oh, this person has it all. They won't relate. They don't understand. I fucking wish that were true, dude. I fucking wish. You know how Republicans call Biden a communist and the rest of us are like, I fucking wish, dude. That's me. All the people that maybe click on the stream or look at my Twitter or whatever, they're like, this bitch has it all. Unbelievable. Life for women is so easy. I fucking wish, man. I fucking wish my life was as easy as you're talking about. Oh, I'm going to open up to you guys. So you better not fucking judge me. I was hanging out with a friend. Well, I was hanging out with two friends. One of which I've known for years and years and years. And the other I've known for like about a year, almost a year. And I was very high. Okay. And I started experiencing a little bit of a sensory overload, as it happens sometimes when you're a little too high. And I got a little snappy because I felt like I kept getting bothered. And I snapped and I was like, just look it up yourself. And I passed the phone over. And then immediately after doing that, I realized what I had done. And I was like, oh, I can't believe this. I'm an adult. I can use my words. Okay? I don't have to act that way. I can say, hey, I'm experiencing some weed brain. I'm getting the weed crazies. I need you to go lie down for a second. Here, if you want to look anything up, feel free to do it. But I need a second for myself. But I didn't do that. I got short with someone. And I got called out on my bullshit, which was based of my friends. They're like, what's wrong? Like, it's really not that big a deal. Like, I don't understand why you got to get upset. And aren't you already short? Fuck you. Okay. And I apologized and I said, I'm sorry. I don't know what was wrong. I'm really sorry. I got really overwhelmed and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, it's all good. We're just trying to have a good time. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Friends go home. Next day, I proceed to have a mental breakdown. Like a full-blown sobbing mental breakdown for 2 hours. Okay. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh, Scooby. Or wait, Shaggy. That's the right one. It's like, dude, I'm a terrible person. I am a failure. Everything in life sucks. And I'm going to lose all my friends. And it's over for me. It's over. No one's going to time me. And then to make matters worse, I send out messages and one of my friends doesn't respond for days and days and days. And I'm like, oh, it's over. Oh, it's completely over. It's all over. This person doesn't like me. They're never going to want to come over and hang out ever again. Okay. And then you know what? Fucking 2 weeks later, they reply and they say, sorry, I'm just really busy, blah, blah, blah. Whenever you get the chance, I really want to hang out. Maybe I want to come over and we can just chill for like a day or two, have like a little sleepover. And you want to know what? It was fine because everybody's just a human being. And you're going to have your moments where you do cringe things, but you recognize them in the moment. You apologize in the moment. You get called out on your shit, which is good. And then you realize it's just normal human being stuff. There was no reason for me to have a full-blown emotional breakdown for hours. That was not necessary. It was fine. But the social anxiety part of your brain is going to tell you that you're a piece of shit and that you deserve nothing and everybody hates you. And you have to make sure you beat that part of your brain with a stick. Because that part of your brain is fucking lying to you. As real as it feels, it's a fucking lie. Where's your dad? Thanks for the 14 months. This convo is making me think about the new Mina Lee video on friendlessness. I saw that video was recommended to me, but I haven't watched it yet. Be compassionate with yourself. I will tell you, that is the thing that I struggle with the most. The most. It is so hard. It is so, so hard to not be hard on yourself. It's so difficult. But you have to have that facts and logic, Ben Shapiro part of your brain that says, actually, it's pretty unlikely statistically that these people hate you just because they've spent so much time with you and they've shown how much they love you in all these ways. There's no way that they hate you off of this one event. That's completely normal human emotion. And then you be normal. All right? You be normal. You need a Ben Shapiro to fight the Regina George in your head. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. And I get it, you know, people are going to have ideas about someone's life just based on how they look. That's just normal human brain to do that. But I'm telling you, all right. Ignore any perceptions you think you have of me. I am constantly living in a social anxiety hell where I'm constantly exclusively perceiving myself. And I actively fight it all day, every day. Every day. This day will end is my motto, based. Do you do therapy? I did a bit of therapy. It wasn't bad. I want to have more therapy sessions, but I just haven't got around to it. Your friends hate you. Source? Can you please provide one source that shows that my friends hate me? Something that's clinically proven, not inside of your brain? Mm-hmm. 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 One thing I realized, one thing that really helped me is realizing doing a thing once is generally not enough to ruin your career or your friendships. Yeah. One of the best methods, in my opinion, is would you treat a friend the way you treat yourself? And if the answer is no, then you need to start treating yourself better. Or start treating your friends worse. And I hate to be the cringiest person on the planet, all right? But I'm going to say it. Whatever. I'm already cringe. I might as well just be free. Positive self-affirmations work. It's real. I hate that it's real. But looking in the mirror and saying positive stuff about yourself makes you feel better about yourself. It's fucked up that it's true. It's fucked up that it is absolutely true. You got to gaslight yourself into thinking that you're a good person. You got to get past the fucking lizard brain in there. You're a bad bitch. You're going to do the laundry today. Rap music unironically gives me a confidence boost in any situation. Dude, I was saying it earlier, but like, for me, listening to female rappers gave me more self-confidence than anything else in my entire life. The whole fake it till you make it thing is real. I hate that it's real. It makes me so pissed that it's real every day. But it's real. If you pretend to be the person you want to be for long enough, you essentially are that person. Aristotle or whatever the fuck. I think it was Aristotle. Let me look. Which one of those Greek fuckers was the one that said the external is what matters? That it doesn't matter what's going on inside. Effectively, if all you do is good stuff and you try to be the best person you can be, not Stavros, then that is who you are. Aristotle. Oh, F set, you're so right. Wait, that. No, I should do is it Socrates? Which is the fucker that got killed? Which one of those? I gotta fucking brush up on my philosophy, man. Christ. It's been years. Socrates was the one that they like executed, right? That was him. So dramatic. I need to do a Socrates cosplay and like, but like very sexy and be like, oh, I just died because they executed me. Because I'm so hot and sexy and smart. Was it? I think it was Socrates. God. You don't think that can lead to narcissism? I'm going to say this. If you deal with as much social anxiety that I do, if I resonated too hard with you, your narcissism is not a problem you're going to run into. It's not. That one clip, YouTube, let me pull it up. Pokemon's interview with Anthony Padilla. Let me pull it up. I'm trying to find it. She talks about how other people harass her, obviously. Ugh. There's a section, maybe someone else can help me find the timestamp, but a section basically saying everybody, there are so many people that harass me and so many people that hate me, but they're never going to hate me as much as I hate myself. And that shit, that is the realest fucking shit on the planet. There we go. Here it is. I found it.
I don't know, not with me though. I look this perfect all the time. But go on.
We can't all be you.
And you've had it brought up constantly for 3.5 years?
I mean, it's kind of like any time the incels come around. That's their bread and butter. They're like, look, you're ugly.
See, we proved it.
And I'm like, sweetie, I know I live with myself. I've never had an issue.
He's just like me, for real. For real. Felt that. Felt that. Oh, God. But it's freeing in a way. Because there's nothing anyone can say that will get to me. Because it's all in here. Oh, man. All right, let's finish this fucking video.
Yeah. You know, if you guys are interested in seeing those type of videos, just let me know. I'd be glad to tell you the story of how I met these girls. What I thought at the time, you know, like, oh wow, this could actually happen, but they ended up just rejecting me, you know. And yeah. I've always kind of struggled with that, and I don't know how to improve on that. But yeah, you know, I've been wanting to make this video for a while now, and yeah, I'm glad I finally was able to do it, you know. Not sure if it's something like brave that I'm doing, just like some random guy in his mid-20s that's never been in a relationship just telling his problems on the internet, but yeah, you know, I'm glad I was able to let that all out, you know, for everyone to see. And yeah. Later, guys.
I'm eating some strawberries. Mm. Okay, now, the reason why we're talking about this, well, a couple things. First, before anything else, I feel so certain that I would be willing to bet on it. That this is not an issue of attractiveness. This is not an issue of cancel tilt. This is not an issue of, I honestly, even Riz necessarily. This is an issue of you need to figure out who the fuck you are. And you need to stop idealizing a life where you have your girlfriend. The second you start putting shit on pedestals, you've immediately fucked up. Maybe I'll regret this, but listen, bro, little bro, if you want to chat, if you happen to see this little bro, we could have a chat. I could help you be normal. Okay? I figured out how to be normal for myself, and I want to give it to everyone else. She can fix me. Feel strong, man. Feel strong, man. How to mask 101. I'm a professional, all right? I got a PhD in that shit. But let's talk about two things. First, there's a lot of these videos that I feel like have been cropping up. Even you see that I just, I clicked on one video and there's so many that have popped up. I'm 22. I've never had a girlfriend. That's fine. You're 22. You're a baby. I'm 23, I've never had a girlfriend. I'm 27, I've never had a girlfriend. I'm 27, I've never had a girlfriend. Okay. I don't know what's happening. What is going on? What is going on? Why? Also, are they exclusively looking for romance or relationships? He led with the, this isn't my usual content. What is his usual content? Okay. I want to look at the usual content. I want to look at the post talking about this video, which I think has more context to it. And I kind of want to watch, I guess, the video that came out a year ago that sparked a lot of these. Because I didn't even know this existed until very recently. So let's see. Life is meaningless. Okay. Why are these all different people? Maybe this is like a channel that pulls from other channels? I'm so confused. Someone re-uploaded this video on Instagram. I think this is a re-upload, yeah. All of these are re-uploads? I wonder where the original is. Is this the original? Oh, that's annoying that I can't. Oh, the original got deleted. Got it. Okay. So, I trust Sandy. I trust Sandy Frizzle. Okay? I trust. She's based. And she said, "You forgot to follow the shot with a chaser." And she writes, "Did you even take the time to watch his videos? I did, and it absolutely makes sense why he doesn't have a girlfriend. Number one, he is hugely obsessive. Watch his videos. I used to love this girl where he confessed his unrequited love for a girl he knew from church. They never hung out privately. She never invited him into her life intimately. They hung out like twice. During this, he would lie about his history, lie about the books that he liked, and lied about traveling, and eventually got exposed for it, which of course sent him spiraling into a deep depression. She gave him grace later on, but after getting into the tiniest online tiff with her about some comments made about a school shooting, it caused him to block her and then sent him again spiraling into a deep, terrible depression. Why would any girl put herself in a situation with a man who's obsessive and a liar? He took a very casual relationship, made it into something that it wasn't, which is a massive red flag for women, and it should be. Women get murdered whenever men are delusional. Number two, watch his video, People I Don't Like, where he obsesses over slights that happened to him as a teenager that he's obviously still upset about. Life can be full of dicks, it's true, but when you move in and let it slide, off. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I'm Page. When a man or a woman shows that they cannot handle the random frustrating moments in which they might be demeaned or treated poorly, it's a huge red flag. Those people are school shooters. They are workplace shooters. They write their pathetic manifestos complaining and whining about every goddamn tiny moment in which someone else failed to notice how special and wonder and then there's the rest is cut off. Also, 25 is not old. I didn't have my first relationship until I was 18. I wasn't ready until then. And the thing is, this guy isn't ready either. Nobody is owed relationships. And I'm going to be honest. Move on. Oh, but you move on and let it slide off. Got it. Thank you guys. Thank you for understanding. And man, that is so fucking based. I'm a 26-year-old virgin. I'm no less insecure than my friends who get laid frequently. Getting a girlfriend's not going to fix your problems. I think this is sort of the root issue where you can become so obsessed with the idea of something that you kind of almost don't care about the actual thing or the actual person. I know Ariana Grande she dated a guy who had a baby or something. I don't fucking know. It's some shit. People don't like her right now. And it's not because she's Avatar, master of all races or whatever. It's for something else this time. But she has a song. And there's like an intro or an outro to it that's based. I don't know. I don't know where it's from, but I think it's this one. In My Head. I think it might be a remix that I had listened to, but this one? Pausers? You're in love with a version of a person that you've created in your head that you're trying to fix, but you cannot because you can only fix yourself. And that shit is the most base shit on the planet that I've ever fucking heard in my life. I don't know where this is pulled from exactly. Is it Good Will Hunting? I don't think so. But that's the basic gist of what I'm trying to get to. You're in love with the idea of being in love. You can't be madly in love with someone who you've never hung out with. You don't know anything about that person. But you're in love with the idea of being in love, and you're in love with the idea of being in a relationship. And when you see that that is what you're doing, and that's what's happening inside of your brain, you need to take a step back immediately. I hate the New York Times. I can't look at this fucking website or this article because the New York Times is paywall me. I was so in love with the concept of romance later down the line after so many yells I came to realize I was aromantic trying to achieve something I couldn't grasp. You're romanticizing romance. I'm telling you, it is not possible to be in love with someone that you've never hung out with. And I'm going to say something else. There is such a thing as tempering your expectations. I will say, you're wrong. I'm in love with Will Neff. Okay, that's one exception I will allow. The number of times where I have like started talking to people or maybe went on a date or two or, like even like friends that I've hung out with and I find myself fantasizing in my brain and I have to catch myself. And I recognize this is short-term infatuation. And it is not, there is no universe where it is fair for me to put the expectation that this person should fully love me back when they don't even know me that much either. And you take a step back and you're like, I'm tempering those ideas. This is a friend, or this is someone that I'm just talking to. I haven't talked to them. And you have to like end those ideas. Nip it in the bud. It becomes rather parasocial, yeah. And it's also not fair to the other person. It's not fair to put that on someone else, to put this burden on someone else of, but I love you. Why don't you love me back? That's not fair. That's not fair for that person. Are you kidding me? And if you if it ever happens in your brain that you think about your infatuation towards someone and then you think about telling them that and then you think about the fact that it's unfair for you to expect them to have the same feelings, that's when you take a step back and think, okay, I think I'm getting a little too invested. I'm going to step away just for a little, temper my expectations, and then I can reapproach this. Baby Dian, thank you for the 10 months. Please give Meerkat head scratches for me. He's chilling on the bed right now. He's max relaxing. I'm going to say the other thing as well, which is important. There's a video that I love to recommend to people or anyone who's dealing with some level of loneliness. The video is, I think it's from a channel that has macabre in its name. Storytelling. I think it's macabre storytelling. Yes. And he's got a great video about pickup artistry and loneliness and that sort of thing. Here we go. Male dating and sex struggles, a problem in plain sight. This is probably one of the best videos I can recommend. If I know it's 2 hours long, the fucking documentary. We watched it a long time ago, but I can't watch this again. It's just too long of a video. This shit'll take me a week to get through again. But I highly recommend it. And if you don't know why I highly recommend it, that's fair. There's one section that really hits. I'm trying to find the transcript. Why did they put the transcript here now? It's so annoying. Fudgers. Okay, here we go. And this is, if there's anyone in here who needs to see this video, this section is going to change your life. All right? A lot of these incels just need to go and watch this fucking video.
Off is try hard, even if you were not doing so consciously. However, there is a simple technique that can help sidestep both of these mistakes.
Just ask questions.
Sorry, let me start from the beginning of this section. Chapter 6, Pac-Man's Guide to Ethical Slang.
Hello, brethren. I am Papa Mac, here to cure you of your dating woes. Let's begin with the basics. It isn't exactly a secret that one of the biggest hurdles guys face when trying to improve their romantic lives is a little devil known as approach anxiety, the in some cases debilitating fear of initiating a conversation with a woman they find attractive. Many guys fear that a rejection will be a massive blowout where the hottie insults you, some giga chad pulls your pants down, which is in stark contrast to the reality of the situation, which is often a simple no thank you, I'm not interested. And thus, I present to you a simple yet effective strategy I used when I first started out. Find an area with a lot of foot traffic, grab a coffee, and go for a walk. Your goal is to ask 10 people for the time. Obviously, make sure you aren't wearing a watch. Awkward. Say thank you, and you keep walking. A few minutes later, ask someone else. Ideally, you'll want to ask women you find attractive, but if that's too hard at first, just ask any and everyone. If you have a friend in the same boat, bring them along and take turns asking. If you don't live near a busy metro area, try it at your local mall. Ask someone where a certain
This is quite literally exposure therapy.
store is. Obviously, try to ascertain if they seem like they are standoffish, but in any case, you are only taking up a few seconds of their time. They may or may not know the answer to your question, but obviously that's not the point. Politely say thank you and move on. As you get more comfortable doing this, mix in a compliment. Turn to walk away, but then say cool shirt or something. At first, it'll come off as forced, or you may trip over your words a bit, but as you do it over and over, it'll slowly feel more natural. Try to make this a habit whenever you go out. Find situations where you can initiate not a full conversation, but just a simple interaction. If you're at a coffee shop, make sure there isn't a line or anything and ask the barista what their go-to drink is. You aren't trying to expand this into a full conversation, just to go beyond the simple yes, no, and thank yous that make up the vast majority of social interactions throughout your day. The fear that guys feel when approaching a woman is brought about by them playing out every single horrifically embarrassing scenario in their heads. Like they see a pretty girl and go full on Doctor Strange, seeing every temporal extrapolation where she calls him a creep and throws her burning hot latte in his face. But you aren't hitting on her. You're just asking a simple question. There is no crash and burn scenario. And when
I'll also say one thing that really helped me a lot has been this strategy somebody else told me, which is you visualize the best case scenario, you visualize the worst case scenario, and then you visualize what is the most likely to happen. So I want to go hit on the barista. I want to go ask the barista on a date. What's the best case scenario? The best case scenario is I'm like, hey, do you want to go on a date sometime? And the barista takes off all their clothes and says, take me now. And then everybody claps. And then we get married. Pretty unlikely. Yeah. And then you visualize the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is the barista says, you are the ugliest piece of shit I have ever had the displeasure of meeting. It makes me depressed that I even have to talk to you. The only reason I would ever speak to someone like you is to make money off you by you buying her shitty coffee. And then they throw hot coffee in your face, and then everybody points and laughs at you. And then you piss your pants and run away. Pretty unlikely. Both of those things, very unlikely. Okay, now let's try and be a little realistic. What is most likely going to happen? Maybe I'll stumble my words a little bit. I'll be like, hey, can I, haha. Want to go on a date sometime? No, that's okay. Anyways, bye. And then you leave. Realistically, that's if something bad is going to happen, that's what's going to happen. And for me anyways, I'm not sure if this helps other people. For me, I think about that. And I think about the fact that this universe that I think everything bad is going to happen and my life is going to fall apart if I make a mistake kind of melts away when you realize that's pretty fucking unlikely. Do you piss yourself before or after she dumps the coffee on you? I think after, question mark.
Once you realize that the vast majority of people, yes, that includes women you find attractive, will not react towards you with hostility, but with decency, it'll start to internalize. You'd be surprised how many times asking for the time or for directions led to the person I asked initiating a conversation. People who are really isolated have this habit of assuming that everyone else is a social butterfly and is on their way to meet their big functional group of well-adjusted friends, when in reality, that person may feel the exact same way you do, and someone simply acknowledging them or giving them a compliment can make their whole day. This strategy is something you'll find on almost any pickup channel. This is simply a carried version of what is called progressive systemic desensitization. A fancy phrase that means doing the thing you are afraid of makes you less afraid of doing the thing. After a while, you will be amazed, like I was, how much more comfortable you feel in social situations, as well as how your social calibration will have naturally improved. It isn't an exact science, but after talking to lots and lots of people, even for 10 to 20 seconds a pop, you'll get a feel for vibe, if you will. If someone is open to continue talking, if they're being short, the tone of their voice. You're never going to be a mind reader, but you will find yourself getting better at reading the room, if you will. But surely once I approach a woman with the intention of flirting with her, that anxiety will come back, right? Since the pressure is still on in this case. And to some extent, yes, this exercise is more of a warm-up. Most guys who are incredibly socially awkward try to dive right into approaching an attractive woman, which is like someone who gets stage fright playing ukulele in front of their dog wanting to gig at a sold-out Madison Square Garden. It helps get rid of most of your nerves, but there is going to come a time when you just need to jump into the pool. However, you can use other pickup techniques to help you out, not by trying to manipulate the person you are talking to, but in terms of your own mental framing. But first, let's talk about appearance. Obviously, you can't control your bone structure or genetics, but you can optimize what you got. Head to a clothing store that has moderately priced and ask someone who works there to help you pick out an outfit. Seriously, they live for this shit. It will help you get out of your comfort zone when it comes to style. If you don't feel comfortable doing this, black shirt, black leather or bomber jacket, black jeans, white sneakers. It's a basic as fuck starting point. If you have the means, hit up a somewhat fancier hair salon, and when the stylist asks you what you want, tell them you have no idea and you put yourself completely in their hands. Just be honest and say you're trying to get better with the ladies. You can choose a cut you like, but I like to do this as it gets me out of my comfort zone. And the stylist knows how to work your hair to complement your face. By this point, you hopefully will have gotten rid of most of your nerves and improved your social calibration. So approaching a woman isn't as daunting. So let's just use a simple get together for this example. You're at a party and muster the confidence to approach a woman you find attractive. The approach isn't important. Say hi, ask her name, compliment her shirt. It doesn't have to be fancy. Now let's go over the two biggest mistakes guys make that set them up to fail. Number one is envisioning how the conversation will play out in your head. This is deadly because you have already psyched yourself out before even opening your mouth. Hopefully your nerves will have calmed by utilizing the approach anxiety strategy, but it can still be present. However, number two, the bigger mistake is the mental framing guys enter this interaction with, which is having
Okay, all of that was just lore for this. This is it.
a specific end goal in mind, whether it be a phone number or trying to get her home with you. You need to train yourself to get this shit completely out of your head, as it is this end goal oriented framing that leads to the more manipulative techniques. The deadly framing guys enter with is basically, I want her to like me. Why? Because she's cute? You don't know her. She could be mean or obnoxious. She could enjoy beating up old ladies, or her favorite film could be Glitter. The reason you want her to like you is because you just want her for validation or sex, which results in you resorting to weird attempts to manipulate her or frame yourself a certain way, which comes off as try hard, even if you were not doing so consciously. However, there is a simple technique that can help sidestep both of these mistakes.
Just ask questions.
Well, no. Well, yeah. Here, I'll let Neil Strauss put it a better way.
The whole thing is guys are always trying to sell themselves to women. They're always trying to brag about themselves and say what they do for a living. And instead, you kind of got to flip the script, make someone who has absolutely no interest in you start selling themselves to you. And that's like one of the pieces.
Instead of entering an interaction with the woman with the mindset of, I want her to like me, enter with, I want to see if she is someone I like. With this mindset, instead of trying to impress or to get something from her, you are simply seeing if she is someone you would like. And how do you go about doing so?
Are you fine?
Yeah.
But not basic run-of-the-mill questions. You don't talk shit about the weather or your favorite color or something. Questions that reveal things about her personality that actually mean something to you. This is going to vary from individual to individual, depending on what you as a person value in another. This technique, 1, naturally projects confidence, 2, gets you talking about things that are important to you.
My therapist, me venting about that fucking Sia autism movie.
Are interested in, and 3, put yourself in a selective mindset. Not in the sense where you are judging her or acting as if she has to impress you. This is my one gripe with how Neil's description of the technique works in practice. A guy will tend to act as if he is the prize and she needs to chase him, which they refer to as having an abundance mentality. This is simply a slight variation on it that doesn't risk making you seem overly cocky or conceited. So when she answers, if it is something that resonates with you, probably so since you are discussing things you care about, respond with something about yourself, why it means so much to you. And ideally, she will ask you questions which you'll respond to, a process that in the science.
Why did my earbuds stop working? Are you fucking kidding me? Right when he's getting to the good part?
Scientific scholar community is officially known as a conversation. But seriously, so much generic dating advice will give you boring topic to talk about, while pickup artists will frame a simple conversation as if it's a multi-step sales pitch. This is the part where the be yourself mantra comes out. By asking questions in this manner, you communicate who you are and the things you care about without coming off as if you are doing so in an attempt to impress her. And if things go good, if the conversation's going well, suggest grabbing her number. Now here's the big thing. If she declines, you need to understand that despite your anxiety's best effort to convince you of this could have absolutely nothing to do with you. Part of the difficulty of meeting people in public places, and part of the reason why a lot of pickup artist rhetoric is just borderline useless, is because you don't know anything about the woman you approach. Maybe she said no because she wasn't attracted to you, or maybe she's married, in a relationship, just got out of a relationship, just not in the best mood. Maybe she doesn't like men. Not that any of that has stopped any of these dudes. Guys who lack confidence tend to jump to the most soul-crushing explanation, which can be lethal. This is how a community or small group of friends whom you go out with can help. You get rejected on your own, it can stick with you for a while. You get rejected and get back chatting with your friends, it'll be off your mind in a few minutes. But let's say that you aren't comfortable with meeting people in public or don't have a group of friends you can go out with. This is where online dating comes in. I did online almost exclusively, as I found it easier in terms of navigating the unknowns of approaching. If you get a match on Tinder, you know the person is available, well, at least they say so, and there is some semblance of mutual physical attraction. With that said, there are trade-offs. You approach a woman in person, your personality can give you a leg up. But online, looks, or rather just having good photos, matters a lot more. Shit, I had to find excuses to take photos when I went out with friends, and I just never thought to take pictures. You can always make a joke out of it too. Maybe take a few jokey photos and mention in your profile that you didn't have any pictures of yourself, so you had to wing it. Display your personality a bit. Apps like Tinder and Bumble can be a bit more treacherous in the sense that looks matter more, but keep in mind that many people may not be active or have even seen your profile. So don't be too hard on yourself if you don't get many matches. However, if you do find it's getting to you, you need to walk away. I have seen many a guy and girl have their lack of success on Tinder or Bumble do a number on them. Even if they get a decent number of matches, they almost subconsciously compare it to the number of people they swiped on and take that to heart. In that case, I'd suggest maybe trying OkCupid or a site that has a bit more of an involved process to sign up to weed out people who aren't really as serious about meeting someone. Okay, so let's say you get a match, or say you got that girl's phone number at the bar. Now this is the most important part. I'm serious. These two texting secrets, these revolutionary concepts will improve your success by 8,000%. And they are: say something more than hi, and for the love of ever fucking Christ, ask her out. Of all the confusing things about dating, why did seduction schmucks and self-help gurus alike decide to make fucking texting such a complex web of rampant overthinking? So waited this long before texting back. Here's how to generate attraction through texting. Stop. Christ. Just say something more than hi or sup or does this look inflamed to you? Although I did once send a girl a picture of a bale of hay and she found it funny. Something as simple as, hey, how's it going today? Or, hey, how's this godforsaken app treating you? Will automatically put you ahead of the pack, as surprising as that may sound. If she responds, go back to the mindset I spoke of earlier. Ask questions and see if she is someone you think you would like. Read the vibe. Is she sure with you? Not asking questions back? If so, politely move on. Also, I'd suggest, if a convo fizzles out or you can tell she isn't interested, just unmatch her immediately. Just letting it sit there, driving you mad like the telltale Tinder match, will not do you any favors. But if after a few back and forth, she seems nice and engaging, you need to ask her out. You would be amazed how many women I went out with who said that despite getting many matches and chatting with a lot of dudes, I was the only person who actually asked to meet up. Some guys take the play hard to get thing too far and never actually get anywhere. And for the love of God, do not play the I'm gonna wait X amount of time to text back. We aren't in the 8th grade.
So
Besides,
stupid.
you want to try to set a meetup pretty shortly after chatting. For reference, my girlfriend of almost 3 years, upon asking me what made her join Bumble, responded with, boredom honestly, how about you? And I responded, same, do you want to not be bored and grab a drink? And now we're living together and she regrets it every day since I am very much a morning person and she most certainly is not. Then just make sure you are decisive about where you meet. Not in the sense of being demanding, but if you ask her, is Wednesday night good? And she says yes, then pick a place equidistant between you two and say, let's meet here at 8 or whatever. Just pick a decent bar or coffee shop. It doesn't have to be fancy. If you couldn't tell, a lot of what I've gone over so far aren't really cheat codes, if you will. They are more or less just techniques to control outside factors that can complicate things. Hesitation, overthinking. This process isn't nearly as daunting if you can quell this stuff. All right, great, you have a date, and you already know there is at least some mutual interest and attraction. However, are there other tips we can learn from our masculine daddies? Believe it or not, the answer is yes. One of the best tips I learned was a variation on what pickup dudes call a false time constraint. So basically the idea is you approach a woman and say something like, hey, I have to go in a minute, but I just wanted to ask you something. The idea is to not put too much stake in the interaction, since the woman you are speaking to assumes you won't be sticking around all that long and aren't going to be a nuisance. But again, while calling this manipulation is quite the stretch, I don't like any any sort of pickup that has anything to do with trying to elicit a response from the other person. The technique is meant to get her to let her guard down, and personally, I just don't like that framing. I just think that is what ends up leading to guys transitioning into the more manipulative aspects of this stuff. However, a variation of the false time constraint was something I used to help put my mind at ease. So let's say you are planning a time to meet and you settle on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So then say something like, oh, that's perfect. I'm actually meeting up with friends at 9, but that works. I'll see you at 8. The reason I did this was, 1, to not stress about the expectations of the date. I would always, even without trying, constantly worry if I should escalate or try to get her home, even if I sincerely just wanted to get to know her. So by setting this time constraint, it allowed me to relax and enjoy her company. It may seem innocuous, but it really made a big difference.
Dude, I do this shit all the time. That's just because of my social anxiety. I do this shit all the time because I don't know how to end conversations or end hangouts. So I always make shit up. I'll tell people, yeah, I mean, I'm free from like 2 to 4. I'm free all day. I don't have shit to do. But making up a reason so that A, if something goes poorly, I can still dip, but if something is going well, I can say, oh, you know what? I'm having a good time. I can take care of this shit tomorrow. Do you want to keep hanging out? And it is a godsend. It's a godsend. You just have to pick something that you can easily cancel. And that's not, it doesn't make, sorry, it has to make sense that you can cancel it. Also, if you stick to it and leave, but you think more about it after, then you know you want to keep talking to them. Yeah. Yeah. No, I can always visit my friend in the hospital tomorrow. He'll probably live. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So which things do you say? Maybe sometimes I'll say like, I have a meeting, or I had to get to some work before the end of the week or some shit. Or I was going to meet up with a friend. Or, oh, I promised I would go drop something off at a friend's place. And then you can just, if you're enjoying the date, you can just, or whatever, hang out. Because I don't even use this necessarily for dates. I use this all the time, everywhere. You get to just say, you know what? I'm going to text him now. I'm having fun. If you want to keep hanging out, I can text him and I'll just drop off the fucking thing tomorrow. Are you free for the next hour or two? Easy. Like people that I haven't hung out with before, people I'm hanging out with for the first time. Basically, I'm scared that this person is cringe and I need an out. That way, if it's going really poorly, I have my out. Very, very good. Very, very nice. Or, oh, another good one that people like is like talking about your dog or your cat.
I'm free till 7. I have to pick up the Ferrari from the mechanic at 8.
And then if you're enjoying yourself, you're like, you know what? I'm going to ask my roommate if they can go take my dog on a walk. Because I'm having a good time if you are. Or, I have to go home to feed my cat, but I'm going to text my neighbor. I'm going to see if they can do it. One sec. Because I still want to hang out. I'm having fun. There you go. Easy peasy. Or this one is the best one, in my opinion. This is the best one. This is the easiest one. if you're going out later in the day, so like 6, 7, 8 p.m., I pick like an arbitrary number and then say that that's my bedtime because I have to wake up tomorrow really early for work.
I've got my liver biopsy scheduled for 2.
The fuck up, crazy. Thank you for the 3 months. You know? So if 9 p.m. approaches and I'm like, dude, this date fucking sucks. Or this person is so weird. It's like, hey, yeah, like I said earlier, I have to go home. I have like a really important meeting tomorrow morning. So until next time. And if I'm having a good time, I can say, you know what? I can just call out. All right, that's what, you know what? That's what coffee is for. I'm down to stay up. What am I, 40? I'll be fine. Let's fucking hang out. It's kind of just like to relieve yourself of like expectations and also to relieve yourself of feeling like you don't have a way to exit. And in my opinion, it also makes the time more valuable or you get to enjoy it more, if that makes sense. I know for me, if I'm ever hanging out and it's an unknown period of time that we are going to hang out, it just gives me anxiety. I don't know why. It gives me anxiety. But when I know that it's just 2 hours of hanging out, I'm like, all right, I'm going to have fun for the next 2 hours and then I don't have to worry about it anymore. Lying is unethical, though. There's a huge difference between a lie that is, oh, I have work tomorrow in the morning, and a lie that is deceiving someone in a way that is unacceptable. And if you think that all lying is unethical, then don't do it. Okay? This is the completely harmless lie. No one is hurt by this. This is just a way for you to get out of a situation if you want to get out of a situation. That's not, you know? Mm-mm. Also, not gonna lie, if someone cancels plans to hang out with me, it kind of feels nice. Yeah. Yeah. Then yeah, just make up a real thing to cancel if you have to. Yeah. It's silly. Silly. You can also literally just schedule a time to go to the gym. Yep. Man, I almost didn't tell that murderer where my kids were, but then I remembered that lying is immoral. No, this never happened, Artemis. That would be so spooky, though. I would hate that. I would hate that. God. You could say you need to get groceries before they close, and if the date is going well, you can still actually get the groceries, just bring them with as a personality gauge. Honestly, not a bad idea. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just telling you guys, I struggle with ending conversations and I struggle with saying bye and I struggle with ending hangouts. I'm so bad at it. And so I need to put in these like safety protocols so I don't have to worry about it the entire time. Because I'm going to spend so much time worrying that I'm not even going to enjoy what I'm currently doing. I don't, thankfully. Okay, well, we're not as privileged as you are, you fucking asshole. All right, buddy. No need to rub it in. It's so awkward to be like, I want to leave because I have to. I want to. Yeah. Also, I don't know about you guys, but social interactions, oh man, they're so draining for me. They're both fun, but they're also draining for me. And not knowing how long it'll be gives me, like, I don't get to, it's kind of like running a marathon, but you don't know how long you're supposed to be going. And so you might burn yourself out way too early. But if someone told you exactly how long you're going to be running, it's easy to pace yourself. So if I have 2 or 3 hours, I can pace out my social battery. But if I don't know, oh, well, I hope I don't run out in the middle. Personally saying I had a good time, but I want to leave now is more comfortable for me. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, if you can do it, then fucking great. Plus, I also don't think that you have a obligation to tell the truth to people that you don't even really know, to people that you're meeting for the first time or like second or third time. I don't think you have an obligation to be honest 100%. That's, you know, I do think that if you're friends with someone, you should be able to just be honest with them at that point. If you've been friends for a while, you should just be able to be honest with them. I have so much respect for the friends that I have that just tell me outright, I'm going to be honest with you. I am mentally and physically exhausted and I just want to stay home. Is it okay if we reschedule? I have so much respect for that. So much respect. But you don't need to do that if you don't even know the person. Anywho. TLDR, guys. TLDR here. I just wanted to point out this, which is there's too many people, I think, that are posting these type of fucking videos that don't understand. You're so busy obsessing and like putting these people on pedestals and thinking that your life won't be complete without another person, that you aren't even thinking about what you like or enjoy or what you want. But if you go on dates or you go talk to people and what you're doing is trying to find out the type of person that they are and see if you like that person, you'll come off way more normal. You'll have more fun. And you'll actually end up meeting people that you like. I know, crazy, crazy. So instead of going on a date and being like, wow, you're so pretty. Wow. You go, how is yours? Anyways, what do you want to talk about? Talking with someone else and telling them like, so what do you like to do for fun? Oh, cool, cool. I prefer doing this stuff. So what about this? Like trying to figure out who they are and see if you even like that person is way better. Way better.